Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I am your host, Brian Ruka, and with me, as always, over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He is the truth box out there on the World Wide Web, ladies and gentlemen, because he loves to speak the truth all day, every day. My man, Truth Box, what is going on tonight, brother? How you holding up?
I am holding up well. You propped my eardrums on the welcome. I was going to forget to push it. Could you tell I was like fiddling?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, doing the knobs and tubes up there, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, excited. Another 2-week skip, but we got a great one under wraps on the way. Coming
I
up,
love it.
right?
It will be under wraps when we get to the completion of the show,
Yeah,
right? And it is underway.
On the way, on en route,
All that
right
stuff.
to you.
Great.
Let's do it.
All right. Awesome. Well, I think I have been fairly open about the fact that I always dreamed about one day being on sports radio. Since the age of about 16 or 17, I've been no stranger to calling up the old Dennis and Callahan or Glenn Ordway's Big Show, or now currently the giant that is the Felger and Maz program. That passion for sports has definitely taken a backseat for my, passion about politics and evangelism. But I have to admit, I still dabble in sports from time to time. The aforementioned Felger and Maz program is basically the only show that I will still listen to these days. Once a week, they do this segment called 5 Questions That Have Nothing to Do with Sports. It's a lighthearted bit that generally produces, a chuckle or two. There was one a few weeks ago that I found myself thinking about a lot, though, afterwards. Now, Greg Bedard was subbing in for Tony Maz, and his answer in the clip we're about to play really stood out to me. Now, the question that was posed was, it's been about 5 years since the start of the pandemic. What, if anything, do you guys miss about that time? And this is what the big boy had to say. Juice?
So I look back on it very fondly from this perspective, is that, at the time, our twins were in 8th grade. Okay. And, when you have twins, you're basically you're just holding on for dear life until now they're high school seniors. They're going to college. It's going a mile a minute. All these sports, it all came crashing to a halt. And for, what was it? 3, 4, 5, 6 months, we were just together. Everything stopped.
The family time was great.
Yes. That we got that time when they were that age, and they weren't 3rd or 4th grade, and that would have been tough to twin, but that they were in 8th grade, they're about to go to high school, it stopped, and we just got to, as a family, just spend family time.
I loved going downstairs and having the 5th grader, 4th grade, whatever grade she was in class at the dining room table.
Right. Or we'd play cards together or watch movies and have meals. You just don't get that time anymore. And to get that time with the family, I really look back on it fondly.
All right. So the theme of his answer there can be summed up pretty easily. The man enjoyed spending time with his family. He thought it was nice to have dinner together every night. Greg Bedard thought it was fun to watch movies with his kids. Wow. Now, to say all that, needless to say, we don't need a global pandemic to realize that. You didn't need a fake wet market hoax to understand that you should cherish the opportunity to have dinner as a family every night. Now, what about Felga chiming in there? He talked about what a joy it was to see his daughter going to school right from his dining room table every morning. And again, I found myself at the time stunned listening to this. And I guess I still am, because if you don't know yet, guys, then maybe you need us to remind you, but you don't need a global pandemic to have those things back. If these guys enjoyed their family time that much, then they can just make the choice to continue to prioritize family time. They shouldn't need the world to shut down to force them to hang out with their families. And I get it. I realize I'm probably being a little harsh on these guys here, but there's nothing stopping Mike Felger from homeschooling his daughter. He's talked on air before about having a nanny at home, so I'm sure he has the means to hire someone to homeschool his kids if he wants. Bedard, on the other hand, seemed to really be talking about how busy his kid's schedule is with sports, along with his own busy schedule. Again, I get it to an extent, but I also think we've morphed into a society that has major FOMO. We have so much available to us, coupled with the curse of opening our phone to see how much more the Johnson family down the street's doing, that we're afraid to say no to anything. Our world is a constant go, 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 go. And we literally needed the world to lock down and take away our options for us to choose to simplify and just be together. I listened to that segment and I felt sad, because I'm probably guilty of acting the same way as these guys. Anytime I get the urge to swing by, like a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, I get annoyed, and, then I quickly switch to admiration. And I admire that company because they willingly choose to leave a boatload of money on the table in order to honor the Lord. I often talk about how I think Massachusetts should go back to the old blue laws when liquor stores were closed on Sundays. But why do I need the state to regulate my values for me? I guess I'd be doing the same thing I'm accusing these guys of doing. I can choose to avoid liquor stores and any other kind of store for that matter on the Lord's Day if I really want to. Ashley often talks about the whole choose your hard mindset. It's all about how everything we do in life is hard because life itself is hard. But we have a choice in which hard we choose. Marriage is hard. Divorce is hard. Choose your hard. Being in debt is hard. Being financially secure is also hard. Choose your hard. Spending time as a family is hard. Doing a million activities is hard. Choose your hard. And with that being said, I do believe it's time to welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo! Woo!
Woo! There it is. Juice, what do you think, brother? You prioritizing family time these days?
Yeah, I'm coming from the same place as you. That was absurd, right?
Yeah. That's what they miss about the.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is the only thing.
Mean.
That is the only thing to miss.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
Murray goes into something about the roads or whatever.
Yeah, he loved being able to drive on the roads with no one out there. And again, that was fine. I'll take that.
But yeah, just you don't need people to do it for you. If it's important to you, do it. Make time, carve it out. This is very recent, 2 weeks ago, maybe. Kids are getting older, something more easier to do, and they can participate in. But we started doing a family prayer time right before bed. Callie reads off, and we recite after. Our Father, Hail Mary, Glory be, and I say a little something that my own little prayer for the family.
Yeah,
and just do that, right?
But you have to choose.
My son has baseball. Can't find 5 minutes. you know,
Exactly.
to do something if it's important to you. Are we going to miss it? And have we? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Stuff's going to happen. You forget, you know, life is hectic, like you said. But
Yep.
like, you don't need the government to do a fake virus to make you
No.
spend time with your family. Have a movie night. Do even I know it's hard and there are a ton of activities, but commit to one movie night a month, you know,
Yep.
and then grow from there. You know,
Exactly.
put it on that busy schedule. Right in family night.
Right in Bedard family movie
Yeah.
night.
We know we don't have baseball this week, so we're gonna put family night then, game night,
Yep.
whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous to think that we needed to be. You
It's
did a
so
whole
true.
you did a whole monologue about it. I'm not
It's
gonna
dude,
repeat
so-
it, but
I like it though. It's so true. We'll double up on the monos with them because it's obviously gotten under your skin too.
Yeah.
So you're at least
I was happier before you sent me that clip to pull it because I don't really listen to Boston sports radio
Yeah.
or sports radio in general, so I didn't have to hear it. But now that I heard it, I'm fired.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you're validating the fact that it actually like got to me and I couldn't stop. That was 2 weeks ago. That clip too. But for 2 weeks I've been like, oh, I have to I
Stirring,
gotta
yeah.
talk about this. Because it drove me nuts. So I'm glad it did the same thing to you. Now, on that topic, if you do find yourself on Spotify trying to look up the old Felger and Maz show, don't forget about the Right and Wrong show, too. That's where we are. You can subscribe to us, hit the little icon, hit the bell notification, and you can find us on YouTube, Rumble. We got the Facebook page where we're all over the place, even though we don't really know what we're doing. So it'd be nice to get a little help, throw a comment in there and give us a follow, tell a friend, all that good stuff. All right, Juice, you ready to jump into things? Let's go. Great timing over here by the host. Ask him when he's in the middle of a swig.
About 10 sips a show.
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
me.
Yep. So,
Well,
okay. My man, back in our younger days, if I happened to be hanging out with my buddy over there, Juice, enjoying a few, adult sodas, a nice Pepsi soda like he has, and somebody maybe called us.
Hold on, like
one of
Wayne
us.
Sorry, interrupted.
No, that's great. I want you to take 2 of these. So
Yeah, we did.
When we were hanging out, we'd be, just like we are right now, maybe in a little silly mood, goofing around, and somebody might call us. We'd answer the phone on the speakerphone, and we might muck around with that person, chatting with them for a few minutes, whatnot, all that good stuff. And since, we are just ball busters at heart, as soon as that call would end, we might go on, back and forth a little bit with a little good-hearted, well-intentioned razzing of that person we just hung up with. Now, it might be over something that they said, something they did during the conversation. Now, this was all innocent things.
Yeah,
I
sounds like a
promise.
blast.
Juice?
Yeah, we'll meet you there. Like,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to do that. We'll see if we have time. Like, all right,
Exactly.
see ya. Bye.
Yep,
Yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely not
Can't
doing
believe
that.
this.
Yeah, definitely not
Absolutely
going
not.
to meet that.
Got no time for that.
Doesn't mean you don't love the guy. It's
Exactly.
a little something.
Just a good-hearted ribbing, I guess, if you will, right? So that's what we would do. Now, without fail, my man, Mr. Juice over there, would every time mid-mock, mid-talking about this, he would say, dude, make sure your phone's off. I think the phone's still on. And every time without fail, it's true. Yeah. And every time without fail, it would produce a 5-second urge of panic over both of us that the person we just hung up with was still on the other line listening to us razz them. Now, we got 3 people on the line, right, Juice? They get us every time with that.
Party line.
Now, the old texting game has taken that panic meter from the normal, 5 that I just mentioned, all the way to a Spinal Tap 11 these days. Now, every friend group chat has, you have your big friend group chat, but we all know that it's no secret that same friend group chat also has a smaller group chat with a, select few people included in that one. And the sole purpose for the side chat is just to talk a little bit of smack about what's being said in the larger group chat. Now, imagine the embarrassment you'd feel if you tried texting the small group to complain about Doug ruining Guy's weekend because he doesn't want to go to the casino. And that text went to the whole group, and now Doug knows you're complaining that he's being cheap. How about putting Kim on blast for being a bridezilla to a couple of the other bridesmaids, only to realize that you sent that to the whole wedding party group with bridezilla Kim included in that? Now, Juice, why do you think I'm talking about this? I swear to God, I don't know Kim or Doug either.
Paging Dr. Faggot. You know this?
What's I do know
the
it, but
the Hangover.
Yeah. The
They're picking
Andy
him up.
Bernard dude.
Yeah, they're picking him up like, oh, what? Oh no, I don't think they say paging. I don't know, but right, he's
It's
talking
hilarious.
with his wife, and he's like, "That's somebody's daughter up there," like,
Yeah.
and they're yelling from the outside. But
Yeah, just
you're
completely
probably.
getting them.
I assume you're talking about this because of what happened in the text, the signal.
I think that's where we're going with this, my
Mm.
man. Well done. I'll give you one of these this time. Good job. Now, and it's exactly what you said. It's because our current national security team found themselves in a position of having to, take a little egg on their face, I guess, if they say, for a mix-up with a group chat that they had. And when your group chat involves high-ranking members of the Trump administration, it's a pretty terrible look to include a reporter from The Atlantic in that text message chain. Now, obviously, this is a lot worse than and a lot more embarrassing than a couple of jackasses from Dorchester like us getting involved in a wrong text or whatever. But the question now becomes, what is the fallout? And more importantly, what should the fallout be and why? Now, personally, I look at this as, the one mulligan you get during a round of 18 for a guy like Hegseth and Walz. Pete, because he was sharing those live updates in the Signal chat instead of a more secure way, and Waltz for adding the reporter to begin with. Now, definitely something both of those guys are going to have to live with. And I realized that if this group was, a group of Biden appointees that did this, I'd probably be more outraged than I actually am, full disclosure. But I also need to consider that the mission was a success and no one was hurt by this mistake. Now, when Team Biden made national security mistakes, they happened to let 13 American soldiers die at Abbey Gate. Not one member of the left called for members of Biden's team to lose their jobs over that. So it aggravates me now to have to sit here and get the finger wagged at us by all these people on the left about how unqualified Team Trump is and how embarrassing this is and super duper top secret classified information. And I just think they're completely blowing out of proportion exactly what happened. Like I said, embarrassing, learning experience, something that these guys better make sure never happens again. Absolutely. Lose your job worthy? Juice, what say you, my friend?
I say they're good at clean up the edges, around the edges here, right? Overall, did it really do anything wrong? Is it the debacle, like you said, that was either Abbey Gate or the overall, people hanging off the plane,
Exactly.
Stuck in the wheel wells type Afghan pullout, that kind of thing?
Yep.
No, absolutely not. But let's be better, right?
Absolutely. Because
like how you win the hockey, like you win the game, right? But you
Yep.
let in two cheap ones late and they got within a goal and almost tied
Good
it up.
point.
Hey,
Good point.
we won the game. We did all right, but let's clean it up for the next one.
Absolutely. And
All right.
fair or not, our side of the aisle in the world we live in with the media coverage we have to deal with is always going to be have to work that much harder than the other team does. We're always going to be in the disadvantage in the way that this is perceived in the public. So you can't give them an opportunity to make you look bad because they're going to pounce on every chance they can. We don't have NPR to hide a story like this for us the way they hid like an embarrassing story about Hunter Biden, or
They would have brushed under
to
the
run
rug
coverage.
if they gave out the plans. If it was the plans, I mean, we haven't even played the clip, have we? Okay, but if they gave out information and there was like, they would do it and have like a dick pic in there too,
Yeah.
and then brush all
Yeah.
that under the rug without anything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It would have been something else. You know.
Well, first of all, if the reporter was in there with a Biden group chat, they would have just been like, "Oh, hi, Mr. So and so. Oh, what do you think we should do here, Mr. Atlantic reporter?" He'd be part of the team with them because they work hand in hand with each other.
So was that an accident? They pressed the wrong person. I haven't right.
That's the gist of it. They added this dude by mistake, and he just like. I think some people have been hammering him because he is like a far left, like Trump hater. But I don't know, like you get added to a group and you see that stuff starting to go down. He's just like,
yeah, no, you should never have done it. He's not. I don't fault that. You got to clean it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has every right to report on that.
Why does he have? Why? I don't know what signal. I think it's one of those ones where it can kind of delete it. It makes it more,
yeah,
it's a more secure for messages.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Snap.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it.
But like, why is he on your snap face?
Yes, I don't know. Like, where that's all about.
I mean, I should know this, but I've been trying to go into the show a little more blind, like not paying attention, so we can.
Yeah.
I get my news from the show on the fly.
Facts and stats here for Juice.
Yeah, makes it so you can ask me a bunch of questions off me. I haven't heard about it yet. I haven't looked into it.
It's great. Oh, what's this whole signal thing about? Huh? Just dominating the news cycle for a week. I love it. Now, we already know, again, like I touched on it, how the left-wing media feels about Hegseth and the Trump team in general. So they're on a full court press with the outrage this week. And the Atlantic, though, something that stood out to me, Juice, was they have already changed the headline from the original story. So the original story's headline, it said, how I was texted war plans from the Trump team in a Signal chat. And if you look up the same article a day later, it now says attack plans, not war plans. And you may think that that's a small thing, and it might be, but if it's so small, why would they change it if it doesn't matter? Because I think he overpromised exactly what he was included in and what he had, because throughout the text chain too, you can look up the messages. But they talk about, that is something that is they use an abbreviation for it, but like, and they're talking about a more secure, like classified line. Oh, we can't share that here because it's classified. Like they make reference to that. So this guy acted like it was like these war plans about how they're going to take down the Houthis. But it was, dude, we got an attack coming out. You guys good with this? Couple people chiming in. I like to see the insight, the way they thought it out amongst each other. And then Hegseth, okay, hey, we're getting them, noontime today. And
a good way to think of it, I think, is like how we always say, we're not this wasn't a facts and stats text. It was more of a broad update text.
Thank you. Yeah, keep everybody. I mean?
We're not attacking this general from the Houthis at this time, at this location by using this type of munitions.
Exactly.
It was like, hey, we got stuff's going.
This is going off. Boom. Like sending out a jet at boom. Like didn't say where, didn't say who. Like you're right. Like and it was all because these people have to communicate with leaders around the world. Like Marco Rubio's on there. He's the head of the State Department. He needs to be able to, like, in real time, coordinate with the other heads of state.
We're going to be flying over your area.
Exactly.
Don't shoot us down. We're after this person.
Yeah.
We'll be in and out. Again, we won't even know we were there.
Yeah. Like I said, like they're probably going to do this a different way going forward, hopefully. But it's not the end of the world. Now, Hegseth was asked about this, and he couldn't help but notice the change in wording too, from the war plans to attack plans, and he kind of goes on to describe a little bit more what me and Juice were just touching on. So, Juice, you want to hear from the defense secretary himself?
Everybody's texting war plans. Well, I noticed this morning out came something that doesn't look like war plans. And as a matter of fact, they even changed the title to attack plans because they know it's not war plans. There's no units, No locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information. You know who sees war plans? I see them every single day. I looked at them this morning. I looked at attack plans this morning. You know who does attack plans and war plans? Men like that admiral right there, Paparo for the Indo-Pacific, or Eric Kurilla, our general in CENTCOM. They do attack plans and war plans. And thank God we have those leaders who do it and do it well, and our enemies know it. My job, as it said atop of that, everybody's seen it now, team update is to provide updates in real time. General updates in real time, keep everybody informed. That's what I did. That's my job. The war fighters will take the fight to the enemy, and I love what they do. And with President Trump's leadership, our enemies are on notice. We will have peace through strength, and we'll keep putting our troops first. Thank you very much. We're heading off.
Your boy Pete fired up there, Juice.
Very fired up. But one critique, that was good. Don't get me wrong. I love how he said this guy's doing the yeoman's work.
Yeah.
We'll fight. Like, having said all that, we should clean that up. You know, that's on me. Just throw one little caveat. Yeah, that's not ideal. You know, glad we got the overall mission done. But yeah, we're gonna have an internal thing. We're gonna clean that up. You won't see that happen again from this administration.
Good point. And you can tell. Well, you could tell that he he was definitely agitated. You can see with the body language, right? He's like leaning in, like on it too. Yeah. Like he's
definitely attack plans. I'm about to attack you.
Yeah, I see the attack plans. Yeah. But I like that he talked about what wasn't included in there because that's what people are gonna fall back on. Hey, it said playing at this time, like striking at this time, but like that he was like, it didn't say who it was, it didn't say give coordinates, it didn't have this, it didn't have that. Like, boom, it was just a team update, and I like that. And he should be frustrated at the reaction to it. But again, I say all that to I do want to be fair. Where, like I said earlier, like if this was Team Biden doing this, I would probably be laying into them too. So, it's all fair in love and war, I guess, when you're talking politics and infight. And the left is going to try to attack any way they can because Trump is the Teflon Don right now. Nothing really seems to.
They probably actually use like Snapchat and DMs and Instagram to communicate. Like, right?
I think that's the problem too. Is like actually, I'm glad you said that because part of a little bit of this like also made me think of to kind of go back a little to the topic of the monologue in a way where we're just way too on our phones in general in this world these days. And I get it. But one thing that used to really frustrate me working at Boston City Hall was everybody in that building was constantly head down on their phone on the thing. Like, dude, you're a city councilor or you're a minion for a minion, like in city government. Are you that important that you can't like walk from your office to go grab a coffee without needing to be glued to your phone? Like, you know what I mean? And I get it. These guys are high ranking people. They're higher up, but at the end of the day, like you watch that State of the Union that he gave, right? Half the time, everyone's down there in their phone sending out tweets. Like, just sit there for an hour and listen.
What we're doing. Like,
yeah. So
get up occasionally and clap for the kid with brain cancer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do the normal stuff.
But it's just like they need to be on it all the time. And now it's like, okay, if I need to be on my cell phone, we got to do this signal chat to keep the whole group. Where it's like, dude, just pick the time to all go into like a bunker type of room, grab a some. You guys are all important people. You have some secure actual location. Get on a phone conference call with each other. Like, but they're all too busy and too important probably that, we got to be able to do this text and go. So I don't know. Maybe that could be an update by Team Trump a little bit. But overall, don't let the left get away with this nonsense.
Bring back in the Morse code, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's
bring it all the way back.
That's not safe. That's why we got rid of that, I assume. I'm sure Signal is better, but nothing's good. Human is always going to be your worst element. True. Like say like any type of hack or something like that. The human, like somebody press the button. Oh, you want to
Somebody
reset your
figured it
password?
out, right?
Oh yeah, like somebody gets oh your toll, you haven't paid your toll, and they send you a text
Yeah.
message
Yeah, yeah,
clicking
yeah,
on
yeah.
that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I never been to
Or
Oklahoma,
human
and you're still
laziness.
clicking it. Yeah, don't change your password. Make all your passwords the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, don't check who you're sending the text to.
That
You
is
know,
true.
I don't. I
Yep.
think it's
They
the
got
human
lazy.
element. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, human element.
Flat-footed.
Mulligan. You get a
Flat-footed.
mulligan,
Yeah,
right?
one.
All right, perfect. Now, according to the minority leader Hakeem Jeffries in the
Dude, don't
in the
call
House,
him that, dude. That's too much.
no, he is.
I know, but don't say it on the show.
Dude, is she running a bit here? Oh boy! Now this is what he's saying now about the Hegseth in Team Trump here, and compare that to what he said back then about Team Biden after they effed up the Afghanistan pullout. So, Juice, why don't you give us this one?
Ultimately, the buck stops with the President of the United States of America, which is why I made clear to President Trump yesterday in my correspondence that the Secretary of Defense should be fired immediately if he's not man enough to own up to his mistakes and resign in disgrace.
Congressman, what is your assessment of the withdrawal from Afghanistan?
First of all, our hearts break for the tragic loss of those 13 brave members of the military who gave their life in service to this country and paid the ultimate sacrifice. I think the decision to withdraw from Afghanistan was exactly the right one. Certainly, it's been a tumultuous few weeks, though it is important to note that more than 114,000 Americans and Afghan allies and women and vulnerable children have been evacuated over the last 2 weeks. That's an extraordinary accomplishment, thanks to our military and the administration. And that actually is an example of American exceptionalism as well. And that shouldn't get lost in the totality of what we have witnessed.
Like night and day response, right, Juice?
Yeah.
Like I guess we can call ourselves partisans here too for kind of saying this, but this dude's gonna get on national television and say that stuff with a straight face. And thank God that's where I like the internet, to be able to go back and get you like what he said. Because back 30, 40, 50 years ago, they didn't have to eat their words. Nobody remembered what he said 4 years ago. Like, much easier to be a politician back then than it is to be one now.
Agreed.
It's crazy.
And that's why I just wish what Hegseth said, just that long thing. Hey, just own it, even in the slightest. Even if, because you didn't mean to put that guy on there.
Of course.
So just say, dude, we didn't mean to put that guy on there. But also, we didn't really give anything up of value.
Yeah, there wasn't anything of value being disclosed there. Nothing classified. But
that's a mess up.
We got to clean it up. Like, I like how you said it. Like, we'll make sure. And I can tell you one thing, that for sure is never going to happen again under my watch.
Yeah, we'll be hard on the forecheck going forward, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Pump and chase.
Now. Yep. In case you guys forgot what a debacle that pullout of Afghanistan was, Juice did happen to pull up a video of it. Now, I think there is no audio, so he offered to translate for you guys, maybe. But we'll show you the clip of just to remind you what it was like there when we pulled out of Afghanistan. Crazy. Now, for you audio only people, that was just the plane, the U.S. plane taking off, trying to take off with just Afghani people running all over the tarmac. What is it?
Tarmac.
Mark. It's not Mark's tar. It's tarmac.
Well, we can't confirm whose it is, but
they were all over it, and they're climbing on the plane, hanging from it. It was just disgraceful.
Yeah, sad. And in the end, I don't know if this is from a movie or it was then, but getting stuck in the wheel well and dying because of the temperatures at 30,000 degrees or whatever, Like,
Yep.
not to mention the not to mention the
money that we
monetary.
left behind.
Yeah.
As we left behind.
All these munitions, we don't even know the names. Like stuff that hasn't even been reached the public. Like, you know what I mean? Classified weapons that you don't even know the name of.
Yeah. Like all the like half the gadgets that Bruce Wayne had in the basement there, right? In Batman. Yeah. Like they left
alien technology that we, you know, hey, you can abduct 10 people if you give us the ray gun.
Kind of crazy. Now that's in the hands of the Taliban. Crazy. So, all right, Juice. We covered Signalgate. Everyone knows about that. Let's kind of shift gears, move this thing along. And I want to tell you guys about something that I can just remember from when I was a little kid. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I always remember the very first time I had a Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And right now, I'll tell you, Juice, it was chocolate chip cookie dough, a pint of just deliciousness that my brother brought home to me from work. Like he had a job before me, older than me and stuff. And he brought it home one day. I was like, what's this? Never had this before. And I was hooked in heaven. Now I don't know if I'm being perfectly honest here, Juice. It's some pretty damn good ice cream. It really is.
They never skimped on the dough either, dude. They were
loaded.
I almost were like, can I get more vanilla?
Yeah,
like right. You need to like drink milk with an ice cream. This thing has some cookie in it. But
exactly.
Having said that,
yeah. So that was, you know, back in the day, I was 9, 10, 11 years old, whatever it was. And you know, over the years since then, I started treating myself to a Ben & Jerry's, maybe a little bit less and less. Now, one reason was because my last name, as you guys know, it's Ruka. It's not Rockefeller. And it became a lot harder and harder to justify the outrageous cost of a pint of one of those. Yeah, I wish it was Rockefeller. And number two, I started learning more and more about how Ben & Jerry are just dirty hippies from Vermont that have used their company and their wealth to promote some of the worst left-wing advocacy imaginable. Even though I didn't go out of my way to enjoy their ice cream anymore or as often, I'll admit I still cracked and treated myself from time to time. And that is until now, Juice, until this very moment, because these people have finally done something that will make me never, ever have a Ben & Jerry's ice cream ever again. Juice, you want to throw up this tweet they sent out a couple weeks back on what was called National Abortion Provider Appreciation Day.
This is what they got now? These are the things?
This is what they got. This is what they got. Now, as you guys can clearly see, it's a tweet that they put out, and it says, "We stand with abortion providers today and every day." And there's a link to click on, and the caption thing says, "Abortion care providers are being threatened across the country. Here's why we need to stand with them today and every day." Now, that's
kind of ironic, right? Because somebody's being threatened a little more harsh.
Exactly.
In this instance.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Now, how disgusting and inhumane can you be to celebrate the people that perform abortions? Now, it's stuff like this that just makes my blood boil. How about you, Juice? Like, it's just... I think we can probably pull that off the screen if you want.
Yeah, I can't believe that it's something that's said not in jest. And I don't even think it's something funny to joke about. But
it's
the people like, who kill babies are being threatened.
Yes, right? in a major company in the United States is gonna post that and try to post it with their nose turned up at us as if they have the moral high ground here. Like, yeah. You know, they think like, ugh, like you people are threatening abortion providers.
Like people can pull this out anytime, say where we were wrong, et cetera, but
yeah,
on this, like, I'll die on this hill. I'm happy to be on this side in this one. Pull this out 40 years ago. I was saying, yeah, don't kill babies. And Ben & Jerry was saying, protect the people killing the babies.
Exactly.
Put this
Yep.
lock this one in. I know you can go back and
Check
find
mark
stuff
for
on the
us.
internet, the Wayback Machine. There's ways to even stuff you deleted. They can find it.
Yeah.
Take this one to the bank. You know what I mean? I'm pro-life, not pro Ben and Jerry's.
Exactly. Thank you. I like that. Maybe we should get T-shirts made like that. Juice. Pro-life, not pro Ben and Jerry. Now, I guess the ice cream company, they're owned by a larger company called Unilever, which it's a British
soap company, isn't it?
Is it? Is that what it is? It says,
I think, like a Johnson and Johnson, soap. This. That.
Well, it said it's a multinational food giant.
You ever saw these things where they expand it out and everything's owned by like 3 people?
But yeah, exactly.
There's only Johnson and Johnson, Procter and Gamble, and Unilever. You know, they make the candy and the toothpaste. You know.
Yep. They're getting you on the way in and the way out. Is that how it's done? Yeah, I see.
Coming and going.
So that company, they decided to force out the CEO of Ben and Jerry's after this tweet went out. And I guess that decision now is being fought by the Ben and Jerry's people because part of their partnership agreement, I guess.
Not doing a Joker a bit.
No.
Take one step back. Like the CEO of Ben and Jerry's isn't Ben or Jerry. Right.
No, exactly. Yeah. They sold like they're. I think they still do PR for it, whatever. Like, but they're not.
They're the mascots, basically. Like, right.
Exactly.
The mascots and like we want to put all our time into climate change. Like.
Yep. Yeah. They get to go out and be the face of the company, but they're not running like anything. Yeah. And I think they sold like part of it. Like I don't know exactly how all that stuff works. But yeah, this guy was like the CEO currently. He's out, and it's because the larger company who owns them didn't want the bad publicity. They're done with it. Now, the actual people in the Ben and Jerry's group here, they're fighting this because part of the agreement under their side of it is Unilever doesn't have the ability to remove a CEO from Ben and Jerry's. All this legal mumbo jumbo, and we'll see what happens. I don't really care, Margaret. Right? Frankly, I don't really care what ends up happening from it. All we know is that's the fact is these people were like, this is ridiculous for a CEO to be tweeting this stuff out. Someone's got to go. They know it's bad press. It clearly is. Now, I don't know if this tweet, this thing that we found from Libs of TikTok was in direct response to the guy being removed, or if Libs of TikTok just went back and kind of found some other activism that Ben and Jerry's did. Again, not a facts and stats guy.
Either way,
it's bad.
They said this at some point.
Yeah, they said this at some point. I'd like to believe that they were like, "Oh, you want to make our CEO quit? Well, here's what we say to that," and they produced this video in response. So that's the way I'm choosing to look at it. You guys can choose yourself. But Juice, you want to show it to them?
Stick to ice cream. Not gonna lie, we get this one a lot.
Yeah, we're in the ice cream business, but we've always been about much more than just ice cream. We use our power, our privilege, our platform, and our relationship with our fans to advocate for progressive social change. So no, we're not just going to stick to ice cream.
And we're never going to stop trying to dismantle white supremacy, end the climate crisis, or fight for our democracy.
And no, we're not going to stop fighting laws that restrict trans rights, ban books, and roll back abortion protections.
Caring about that stuff, doing something about it, and supporting communities who've been directly impacted by it is part of our DNA, and it has been since we opened up our first scoop shop in Burlington, Vermont back in 1978.
Ben and Jerry were 2 best friends who love making ice cream. But for them, the only reason to be in business was to do business differently.
Whether we're working with activists in St. Louis to close a racist and inhumane jail, or working to restore the right to vote for people who were formerly incarcerated in Florida, or turning up a delicious new flavor in support of refugee rights in the UK, being an activist company is who we are.
And we know our fans wouldn't want it any other way. Because while we love making the best possible ice cream in the best possible way, the world needs more than just great ice cream.
We don't pretend to always know the answers, but we partner with and take the lead from activists and allies who do. And we hope you'll join us in taking action to support them. That's just who we are and who we've been for 45 years, and that's why we'll...
What a joke.
Dude, that was literally the only 7 tweets. Like, he put up all of the fan tweets. He's like, our fans love us too.
Yeah.
Those are the 7 that they've ever got.
Yeah. Left out all the hate that they got from it.
It honestly looked like Jen and Barry were a little closer than just a couple buddies in that picture.
I don't know who Jen and Benny were.
No, Jen and Barry.
Jen and Barry.
Ben
I
and
love it.
Jerry.
Yeah, they did. They might have been a little closer than just friends. Friends with benefits. I guess.
Is one dead?
I don't know. No, I think they're both around. I don't know.
Maybe
Who
Jerry.
cares?
Maybe Jerry went right wing or something.
Jerry joined the man, if you will.
Yeah.
No, they became the man. They got all the control, all the power. It's absurd. The company sucks. It always has, and I was willing to look past that every once in a while because the ice cream is good. I'm not going to lie about that. I think it is good, but this is just a step too far for me. That they would do this with a straight face.
Where are you going?
I
I don't know if you want to take this offline. That's fine. But where do you think you're going with your
my ice
where
cream?
you taking your talents to, as they say?
I don't know, man. Maybe the people in the audience they'd probably appreciate it if I just decided to leave it out in general. Maybe drop a couple.
Well, I can't leave it out. Like I'm Ben Briers for a bit. I don't know where they stand politically, though, so I'll have to figure that out. Once you move on, you have to figure out. Like I do Bluebell. I like the Great Divide.
I don't think I've ever had them.
Yeah, I don't know where they stand.
I like to go. I'm
gonna do local ones. Keep it local.
I like to hit the little shops around. Like, right, we get the milk delivery here, and they produce their own ice cream too. So we get it from them. It's pretty good.
You use like those tester spoons, and then be like, while I'm having this, will you also tell me your political affiliations as you're trying each flavor? And she, I'm gonna pull up your Twitter as I'm trying.
Yeah. Be like, oh, Poppy, like the Seinfeld, right? Poppy, what do you think about a woman's right to choose? It's good stuff. See, there we go. We check off the list, people. If you're playing bingo at home, Wayne's World and a Seinfeld reference. Done. There it is. Okay. Now, Juice, while we're on the topic of, abortion, abortionists, and, that whole dirty world of abortion that we live in right now, I'd like to read from a story here that I found on the Daily Wire. Now, the headline of this story reads, quote, botched late-term abortion left woman hospitalized with baby parts inside, woman's lawsuit says. That's the headline to the story, Juice. Like right off just the thought of that it makes my skin crawl, makes my stomach turn. That's some of the worst evil we have in this world right now. Now, the full article is as horrific as that headline makes it sound. This woman already has 4 children, and for some reason that they don't mention in the story, she decided to have a late-term abortion. The abortionist, who I'm sure was included as someone to celebrate in the eyes of the old Ben and Jerry's folks, reported that he completed the abortion and that all parts of the baby had been removed. After multiple days of pain and follow-up calls from the woman to the clinic, she finally went to the ER. Now, I want to warn everybody that's like listening, watching right now before I continue here, that this part here coming up will be pretty graphic for the next couple of minutes. Personally, I think whether you're pro-life or pro-abortion, you need to force yourself to hear this part because it's the reality of what abortion is. But I also want that to be your own choice. So continuing from the story, quote, she went to the emergency room where a surgical team found and removed half of a deceased preborn human being in her pelvis, according to medical records cited in the suit. They removed pieces of the fetal skull, which had adhered to her intestine. The skull was crushed and no brain was present. The face was non-recognizable. The story goes on to say stumps of both femurs extended from the soft tissue of the torso, and the baby's arms were missing from the elbow down. One of the last sections of this article says this. The woman herself, also called Kendall, that's who the abortionist was, again, and asked whether her unborn child had been a boy or a girl. Kendall allegedly told her he would look again even though he knew the fetal remains had already been discarded and determining the sex would be impossible, which the lawsuit says was outrageous and exceeded all bounds of human decency and is intolerable in a civilized society. End quote. Now, I don't think that last sentence there is wrong, but I would argue that the very fact that abortion is as widespread and easily accessible as it is already exceeds all bounds of human decency, and that it should already be intolerable in a civilized society. Now, what's your opinion here, Juice? What do you think? I mean, I know where you stand on the issue, but what do you think about this specific article and those pieces we just read?
It's horrible. I'm like sick to my stomach. I'm confused though a bit too, though. Like, well, I'm just saying this throws it in the face of the people who are like, oh, it's a clump of cells, because this lady's literally killing babies because she's asking what sex the baby is and stuff like that. So, like, let's not use that card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you knew you were killing. I know it's late term. What does it matter now? So you can mourn the child based upon sex? Like, and it's usually the same people who are pro-abortion or you don't assign the sex at birth, right? That's confusing to me as well. But no, I'm sick to my stomach, mad. You know, pick a thing.
It's
anything
brutal.
Anti this.
Well, do me a favor, if I can get you to remember back pre-show, you were telling me about seeing some kids in church the other day, and it made you think of something like
today
this.
I went to the daily mass today, 8:30. My parish is connected to a Catholic school, and maybe throughout, and we used to do the first Friday mass. Right? All the students
the whole school would go.
Maybe they do every Friday during Lent. Maybe that would be great. Because this isn't the first Friday, but either way, the whole school was there, and it was beautiful seeing the eighth grader girls hold the hands of the first graders or the kindergartners. They all go down. You know, it was beautiful. The choir singing, it was incredible. Like, the children's choir was better than the Sunday service, right? And it was like, I was just sitting there like, what a blessing this is. Like, because normally at a daily mass, there's like, get the youngest person there, right? There's a couple 90s, couple hundreds, and a couple 80-year-olds there. And God bless them. But like, it was, you know, you're surrounded by, you know, this blessing of children who are learning, you know, the Catholic way. And I couldn't think, like, anybody who people have it wrong, like when you're an atheist in pro-abortion, that's wrong. But like the people who are like Catholic or Christian or whatever, and also pro-abortion, like, now you're not just wrong or confused, you're being malicious about it. You know that that's wrong. But I'm getting choked up about it a little bit. But the moral of it was like, this is, how could anybody ever want to do something bad to what's in this room right now? And I know it's not always like the people, it's not these kids, right? It's ones that aren't wanted, don't have money, can't send them to a Catholic school. I get that. But all those kids have the potential to be, you know, something great.
Yeah, well, because it's easy, Juice, it's easy to do it when you don't have to see the kid. You're sitting there physically seeing these small kids, these young kids in the faith there. But it's easy to pull the trigger on an abortion when you don't have to see it. You don't have to face the consequences. You don't have to listen to the details of the story that I just read. You don't have to watch the video.
Body parts.
Exactly, because you can do it. But I love the point you made. You know, pre-showing right there. That's why I wanted you to bring it up here. Is people that are in the faith, they know the difference between right and wrong. They know what it is, but they, for some reason, are blinded. You know, they have the devil working through them. They just can't get over it. For something is stopping them. where I don't want to give any credit, for lack of a better term, to the atheists out there, but they don't know better. They don't believe there's something else. They don't value human life by the way they live, where the people that are religious but could also support abortion policies, those are the ones I can never understand. I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, like I'm not necessarily mad at you. I forgive you, but I'm disappointed. Your parents, like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Like, it's always stung worse, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I guess the only thing we can do is pray for them and hope that they do have an aha moment at some point. Maybe maybe, not saying us here, we have a tiny reach, but maybe somebody sees a video from, a pro-life organization that they do see a baby video, one of those things about, like, when a baby forms, when the brain starts, when the feet start
heartbeat,
to come, like,
etc. Yeah.
Heartbeat, yeah, exactly. And maybe we pray that they do see a video, like that, or read an article that has details like this one here, and it just clicks to them, and maybe it does, and we do have to pray for that, because there is a positive momentum overall, I think, for the pro-life side of things, but there's plenty of work to do, and we shouldn't have to, the year 2025, have to read a story like that and hear of something like that happening. It's just absurd.
It goes back to kind of like all the other stories. It's completely different than the Hegseth, but, like, just own your mistakes. Say that you, like, hey, yeah, we texted the wrong people, and these abortion people, hey, we're murderers.
Yeah,
completely different subject.
Yeah, we just don't value.
Just admit it. Yeah,
yeah, we know what we're doing. We're murdering, but we just don't think that their life has value yet, for whatever reason. So, all right, Juice, you want to close this thing out on a more lighter note, I guess? Or try to see, who knows, because this is kind of a pretty serious topic too. I'm going to make fun of it a little bit because that's what we do, but when you think about what's going on, it's absurd and ridiculous and all the above. So let's move things on to the always fun, always popular, come on, man, segment of the day. Now, this is when we find a clip of somebody doing something, saying something so absurd, so ridiculous, that even though we're going to make fun of them for a couple of minutes here, there's not much else we could say to them, Juice, except,
man.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
There it is. Again, I love it. All right, so we're going to go right here in the home base with Massachusetts, and, Mayor Wu in Boston and Governor Healy here for the state. They are definitely pro-sanctuary city people. They are, hate Trump with a passion, and they will do anything in their power to try to protect illegal, alien, rapist, pieces of trash here in the state of Massachusetts. That's what they do. That's who they would rather support than their residents. They have a twisted moral compass. They have a backwards way to view the world, and it's button heads right now with Trump and Tom Homan. And the first clip we got here for you is it's a Channel 4 here in Boston, I think CBS News report, where they were talking in Worcester. They were kind of covering the arrests and quick releases of a few illegal aliens that happened over the last few weeks or so here. So, Juice, you want to hit the story for us?
This man, arrested by ICE in February. He was charged with 3 counts of rape of a child by force in 2022. He posted his $7,500 bail at Essex Superior Court and was released on a condition of staying in his residence. Or this ICE arrestee, charged with aggravated rape of a child. He was released from Lawrence District Court on $7,500 bail with a GPS monitoring device. Finally, this man. He was charged with indecent assault and battery on a person over 14 and assault to rape. He was released without bail, but with a GPS monitoring device. All of these cases are ongoing, and none of these men have been convicted. Does that seem like an appropriate bail amount?
Well, it doesn't to me.
But Stephen Roth, a criminal defense and immigration attorney, says these bails are set by judges to reasonably assure someone reappears in court, not to ensure someone remains in custody.
There's a list of criteria that they go through. Immigration status is not one of those categories.
Why would it not be one of those categories?
Yeah, because either way, right? Yes, we deserve trials to see if we're guilty for certain crimes. But on this one, hey, let's not waste the time, and not to mention the effort of bringing in a jury and everybody's time. You're wasting everybody's time. But like, because they've already committed a crime. You're not supposed to come
you don't
here
have to
illegally.
deal with them.
Boom, out. You don't have to put them in the prison. You don't need to do the bail.
Yeah.
Call home and send them out.
We had to pick the
Why
time.
are we doing a trial for something that wasn't supposed to be here?
And it's not like you got this guy for boosting a bag of chips out of a CVS.
Yeah,
or something.
you heard the rap
This guy's raping a minor.
Yeah.
And you're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt? They've already
and honestly, even if you have to use even save the time and effort for somebody who had a bad crime, who still deserves a trial because they came here through the proper channels. There's going to be plenty of that too.
Plenty of it.
There's
plenty of it.
Plenty of people that we need to put bail, do a court, a trial. It's always backed up, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So the easy way is, hey, I don't know what you did, but you can't stay here, right? I don't know if you're guilty of this or that, but I can see here that you're not a citizen of this country. So we're just going to nip it in the bud.
Yep. And you're gone. Out. See you later. Like, that's it. That's it. And that's this is a 80-20 issue out there in the world. Like, even in Massachusetts, this is going to be, maybe it's not 80-20, but majority of the people want nothing to do with illegal rapists of minors. Like, they don't care. Get them out of here. That's what they'll all say. Even the
they do. Wow.
Like,
we can agree on something.
Yeah. Yeah. That will be I guarantee you. There's still going to be some that are going to try to.
Except for Roth and Wu, right? That guy Roth, whatever, the immigration attorney. And there absolutely should be immigration attorneys, because if one person who did something the right way and, spent all this money, did all the forms, and something happened to them, they should get to stay, obviously. There's a need for Roths, but Roth's no, we're not going to take that into account if they're.
Yeah. And how about even the way you described bail? Oh, the bail's set so that we can just encourage him to come back. It's not to hope that he can't make bail.
Yeah.
It's dude, you want to put this guy out there next to your 14-year-old daughter?
I want to hear more from that guy who's I want to hear more of that guy they just gave one little snippet to. Well, I don't think it's enough money.
Yeah, Funkhauser guy. He was great. Now, I was gonna say actually is that's the whole clip is probably 4.5 minutes, and he's in it a lot more. He said some good stuff. What he was saying earlier in that clip before the part we showed there was he only has an hour. He can only hold them for an hour before they have to release them. He's like the sheriff or something in that county. So they can only hold an illegal for up to 1 hour before they have to move them through the system, where he's just give me 3-4 hours. That I call up ICE and say, I have this dude. They can't get there within an hour to come take him. So we have to let him go.
Get a pizza nowadays within an hour.
3-4 hours. Yeah, you're right. In that whole thing drives me bananas too, is the left side of things try to say, well, we want to keep things safe. We don't want people to be afraid, blah, 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 blah. What's more safe and secure than handing somebody over when they're already in custody, when they're already in jail, in handcuffs, and then hand them over to the ICE people? That way they don't have to go drag this person out of their home where it could turn into a shootout, a foot chase, something that would affect
young children getting hurt who didn't have a say in if they were
here.
Innocent people. Even when they do commit a crime and bring their whole family inside, the kids are still innocent. They didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then
you want to traumatize a kid for life because ICE
or just
down their door.
Have dad explain to them in some way that won't affect them at this point that, hey, we're going back. I know it doesn't seem like the right decision now when you like it here in the States.
Yeah.
But make it not be traumatic, like you said.
Exactly. Crazy. Now, we got this next clip here is from the mayor of Boston, Mayor Wu. And yeah, exactly. Queen Wu. And this one kind of goes back to even the story we just talked about too, where she was doing this hearing. She testified on Ash Wednesday in Washington, D.C. So this is where this clip is from. She's about to tell you some nonsense about how safe the city of Boston is when you just saw exactly how safe it is up here in Massachusetts by the rapists out there on the street. But anyways, she had the ashes on her forehead for Ash Wednesday, and it's just it makes me feel like another one who she's a far left lunatic who how can she support abortion protection yet get that cross on her forehead as a Catholic? It's insulting to me. It's insulting to Juice. It should be insulting to all you guys out there that share the Catholic faith. It was insulting when Joe Biden used to talk like that as a Catholic. So no doubt in my mind, she wore those as a cudgel, as a way to try to gain sympathy with an audience, as she testified, because there's no way she believes in the faith that is preached every.
She doesn't believe all of it, at least.
Definitely not. So, without further ado, why don't we let the Queen?
And I'm not trying to gatekeep the ashes. By all means, do the ashes. I hope more people would find Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's cancel the abortion and put more ashes out there, right?
Thank you.
But yeah, here you go.
Boston residents were born somewhere else. Most have jobs. Many have kids. All of them chose this country as their home because, like my mom and dad, they believe that here, where you've been, doesn't limit where you're going. The strength of your character has nothing to do with the color of your passport. And how hard you work matters more than where you were born. That wherever you're from, if you pitch in, look out for your neighbors, and cheer for the home team, you can build a better future here for the people you love. So to every one of my neighbors back in Boston, know this. You belong here. This is your home. Boston es tu hogar. Boston, c'est la caillou. 这是你的家. This is our city. We are the safest major city in the nation because we are safe for everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Show off, huh?
Dude, I kind of like that bit. That's good. That's good political stuff, though, right?
Of course, that's why she's a good politician.
In and out of them with the right.
Absolutely, with the right dialogue.
Yeah,
dialect.
Yeah.
No, she's talented.
Right?
Yeah. There it is again. I love it. So it's just how can you sit there with a straight face and say this is the safest major city? It's not. It's not. And I would probably argue there aren't any safe major cities in this country because of sanctuary city nut jobs like her that are just allowing this nonsense to go on in their cities, and to sit there. Oh, as long as you want to come here, work hard, and cheer
you like
for the
Red
home
Sox?
team.
You like the Sox? You're good. You're in.
Cheer
bud.
for the home team. How about the home team of the United States of America? You cheering for them? You
in
ready
the
to
World
adopt
Cup.
our
Do that
culture?
one. Who are you cheering
Yeah.
for in the World Cup?
Exactly. Are you willing to cheer for the official language of the country here, or you want to talk to them all in their own individual language? We're not all as talented as you, Mayor Wu. We can't all go back and forth like that. Why don't we choose to be all on the same team and speak the same language as one shared nation, city, state, all that good stuff? Maybe we should give her the monologue from episode 112.
I can't help but think when I see her do that it's not. This is stupid. It's gonna make me seem like a redneck or something, but like that it's not intelligent. It makes me seem like she's like a spy or something. The way that she could flip in and out of that, like I don't trust it. I'm not like impressed that she went to these nice schools and is multilingual because she speaks better English than I do.
She does, but what are you saying? She's like another Fang Fang, like that dude. Yeah, right. And that has nothing to do with her race. Just let's throw that out there now.
Oh,
it just
yeah,
happened to be something that happened.
Here you go again. First it was the minority thing.
Just saying.
Minority leader.
Saying.
And now you're doing that.
You know, that's we run a clean act around here. Okay, everybody. Now, you got anything else to add to this whole story?
I've said too much.
You think we should quit while we're ahead here?
Quit
all right.
behind.
So Mayor Wu, sanctuary cities in general, this whole state of Massachusetts, the leadership in the state of Massachusetts, you have all earned yourselves one big, fat, rotten.
Come on, man.
There you go. Thank you, Juice. And that will do it today, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, please. YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple. Tell a friend if you can. That would always help. And throw us a comment. Now, until next time we decide to record.
I had a blast. Thanks for having me. Did you?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. As long as you had a good time, that's all that matters.
Hey, I think the whole neighborhood knows you had a good time.
Okay. See ya.
All right. Good night.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.